afternoon. When I mention the Holocaust, automatically, for anyone, red flags go up. Right. This was the persecution, the state-sponsored extermination of over 6 million Jews. We automatically know that something's wrong here. Because I doubt that there's one person in the room who would raise their hand if I asked who thought that it was okay to take the lives of over 6 million people. And that's because we know and we can recognize wrong. Taking the life of someone is wrong. And I'm pretty sure that if any of us could transport back until 1933, between 1933 and 1945, and we had the ability and a voice to speak up against it, we would have. And I want to tell you, there's a modern-day Holocaust going on right now, and it's called abortion. It's called abortion. I'm the father of an 11-year-old. I'm also, my wife and I are also pregnant and expecting a 17-week-old child, and we also have legal guardianship over 3 other of our children. And I've done hours of research, and I'm a student, a religion student. I study social problems. And my view is that abortion is a serious problem. It undermines what God values. It claims the lives of helpless individuals. And as individuals, we should fight against it. I want to discuss the problem of abortion. I also want to touch why it's bad and what we as individuals can do to fight against it. Now, a brief description of abortion, or a definition by somebody who's an advocate for abortion, is very vague so that they can hide the harsh reality behind it. They'll tell you that abortion is simply the termination of a pregnancy, a process. There's 2 ways that this is done. There's a non-surgical or medical method, which is where a pill is taken within the first 9 weeks of the pregnancy. When this pill is taken, the uterus thins, and there's a second pill given for contractions, so that whatever's inside comes out. Then there's a second method, it's the surgical method. Now there's the MVA and DNC. I won't really get into the terms, but they're both basically utilize vacuum type tools. One is manual, handheld, which is the MVA. The second is a machine vacuum. In both cases, what's inside is sucked out. This is done for the MVA within the first 10 weeks of the pregnancy. The DNC is done within anywhere between the 4th and 13th week of pregnancy. Now, with those vague terms, the termination of a pregnancy, like I said, it takes away the harsh reality of what's really happening. But it's not just something coming out or a process being stopped. It's the life of a baby. It's the life of an individual, a human being, being sucked out, being burnt up, being taken away. These are killings of babies, not just the terminations of a process, like a plant growing, or a water cycle. You're not just stopping a process, you're stopping a life. You're taking a life. I pointed out the time periods for this to take place, anywhere from the 1st until the 13th week, even up until the 20th week of pregnancy. But the problem is this: within the 3rd and 4th week of a pregnancy, of conception, after the 3rd and 4th week, the heart of the baby is already developed and pumping blood. They're living. They're living human beings. And this happens 42 million times per year, 115,000 times per day. According to some research done in an e-booklet you can look up by John Piper on abortion. So this brings us to a second point. Abortion is bad. It doesn't take much to see that. Taking a life is bad. We can point it out in the Holocaust. We should be able to point it out as well right now, because the innocent lives are being taken. It's wrong. It takes the life of a human being, and it also harms other parties involved. Mothers who are persuaded that they have no other way, give up the life of these children and murder these children, and are left with serious guilt, depression. Some become suicidal. There's also a study done by Guthrie Institute, I believe it's called, where they show that in the first half of the 20th century, over 50% of maternity fatalities were due to abortion. So 50% of pregnant women who died in the hospital, it was due to abortion. Most importantly, it undermines what God values, the sanctity of human life. There's different scriptures that point us and tell us how God values life, how he knits the baby in the womb, how he knows the baby before they're even born, how he values life, how we're made in his image. To take that away is to undermine what he values, what he loves. So what should we do? We should fight against it any way possible. First, by being informed, which is what we're doing now. Understanding the terms behind abortion, what it really means, understanding the truth behind it, what really happens, what process really takes place, what the effects that take place afterwards. Understanding this stuff, embedded it in ourselves, so that we know and we're not fooled by what's put out there. And we should pray with this knowledge. Go to God, who's sovereign over all. Pray that hearts will be moved, eyes will be open, things will change. And then finally, we can get involved. Rally peacefully. Inform others about what we know, the truth behind it. Visit a Planned Parenthood clinic near you and speak to someone who may be there facing the harsh reality of maybe having an abortion and not knowing the truth behind it. And I want to leave with saying that we understand that abortion is wrong. We understand that it's a problem that undermines what God values, claims the lives of innocent humans. It strips us of what makes us human beings. Recently, there was a case with a child who was killed, allegedly by her mother. Nobody knows exactly who. And they had a trial, a long trial. And when the whole trial was over, the mother was let off. She wasn't found guilty. And people were outraged because they wanted justice for this baby that was killed. Now, we don't know who did it or what happened, but what we do know is that people recognized that something was taken, the life of an innocent child, and they wanted justice for it. The same way we see that the Holocaust is wrong. It's the same way we should look at abortion. We should want justice for these innocent babies who are being killed every day, who are being taken away and never thought of again. We need to fight against abortion.